Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our match reaction show. It's finished. Manchester United 3, West Ham United 1. And if anybody only looked at the scoreline, they would probably think it was a routine victory at Old Trafford or Manchester United, but it was anything but. And I do think this game has thrown up a few interesting points for me that we'll look at. I mean, the outlook would be so much different if West Ham had held on to the lead that they got. But even then, I think there is things that we can glean from things that we may already know, and just reinforcing some of the points that we've been making throughout the season. So I mean, one of the first things I've got to say, Bruno Fernandes. I mean, he's played another 90 minutes in the season. Is that guy ever going to get a rest? It seems that the only way he gets a rest is if he's suspended, because he doesn't even get injured. Then the only game that he has missed has probably been the one that he was suspended for. He rarely ever rests, and I was surprised to see him today. I thought he wouldn't start this game, because it's one of those games where I really felt that Ten Hag would kind of rotate his squad, big by necessity, because they've just come off a big cup final. They've got Liverpool at Anfield over the weekend, which is going to be an absolute tough game based on what Liverpool are producing in the Premier League right now, at least. No, what they produced today, maybe not so much over the weekend, but the fact is that Bruno would have been vested. I expected Varane to be vested. I expected Martinez, Casemiro. I knew they were not going to start. Fred as well, Shaw as well. I mean, I was sure, like, the selection was more or less what I expected, except for the fact that he played Bruno Fernandes, because that guy just never seems to get a rest. Doesn't want a rest, maybe. I don't know. Well, then that go. I thought, and that affected the play. All the changes that they made, I think affected the play, because you could see in the first half they were stodgy, they were slow, because it's Maguire, it's Lindelof. They're not as quick to move the ball as Varane and Martinez are. They don't play as high as Varane and Martinez do. I mean, same thing with McTominay. He's not as he's no as quick as Casemiro is. And I'm talking about pace. I'm just talking about the fact of the speed of thought and the way that they make the passes, the way that they can see angles and things like that. I don't think I think there was improvement in McTominay. I just don't think it's so that he's just not at the level of Casemiro. That's the reality. And then the same thing, Sabitzer was good, but he's not on the wavelength of the players, because he hasn't played that much yet. And of course, forward line, Weghorst is slow, of course, and Antony's Antony. So I expected the first start to be what it is, and I think Ten Hag kind of went, right, let me just stodgily see this through, and we'll hopefully get a goal somewhere and we'll win this game. I don't think he was looking to entertain. He wasn't looking to play fast-paced football. But then the West Ham goal comes, a frozen feed for the time that goal comes. I say that's the jinx. That's the jinx. If I had been watching, if the feed hadn't frozen, it would not have been a goal. I'm just saying that. No, I'm kidding. But it was a frozen feed. We didn't get to see the goal as it happened. We saw afterwards. Was that ball over the line? I think it would have been a bit more controversial if United had lost, because from my angle, from my vantage point, it looked like it crossed the line. Now, I know that our angles are never the correct ones, because I thought Casemiro might have been offside over the weekend as well for the FA Cup final, and he wasn't. So it's difficult for us to tell. From where I was looking, it looked like it had gone offside, but it might not have gone offside. It's difficult to tell. And so I don't blame BR for making that decision that they made, but it would have been more controversial if United had lost that game. I can tell you that. But it's a good pass from Emerson to Benrahma. That shot from Benrahma is fantastic. It's just beautiful the way he shoots it into that top corner. It's got to be top corner, because he's got to beat De Gea from there. That's probably the only angle he has. It's a brilliant shot. And it's 1-0 West Ham. And West Ham did this in the League Cup as well last season, where they beat, a changed United, a rested United. And you just felt like, I think they might get this win again today. West Ham have always been a bit of a bogey side for Manchester United anyway. So I am always scared, no matter what form West Ham, and I'm always scared when we play them, because you just don't know what you get from that team against United. They seem to, be up for it. But Ten Hag, great Ten Hag, whatever anybody might say, he wanted to win this game, and he brought on Rashford, he brought on Martinez. I was surprised he didn't take off Harry Maguire, and I'll touch on this more later. I was surprised he took out Lindelof, but I think maybe that kind of shows that he wanted Maguire to play on the right-hand side. He didn't want to switch Lindelof's position. But well, he brings them on, and you can start to see, as soon as they come on, there's more pace, there's more urgency, there's more injection of fluidity and movement. Casemiro coming on in midfield in the first at the end of the half also helped. At the start of the second half, it helped, but I think just having those two as well together with Casemiro, I think that trident just looked good. And then that goal, I mean, there was a goal before that which was offside. Casemiro went, I don't know why VAR needed to check that for so long. I mean, I could see it, like, as soon as I saw it, it was offside. So unless there was a knee or something at the back, then that was the only way that, that was ahead that we couldn't see. That was the only way it was going to be onside, but he was offside, as we all could see. So, but there was a warning, and they didn't heed it. They didn't heed it. Another corner gets given, and I thought, okay, they've got that first one. Normally they're going to get another one, and then and it scored. It's a decent delivery And Aguerd had a nightmare second half. It's such a nightmare second half. Responsible for all 3 goals that United scored. He puts one in his own net. It's an own goal. It's unfortunate, but he's got to be doing better there in terms of, because I think he allows Weghorst to kind of, trouble him a little bit. He should be clearing that, but I think he just gets caught thinking, oh, well, Weghorst is behind me, so I've got to, do something, and then he just heads it into his own net. It's unfortunate, but he could have done better with that. It's 1-1, and you're thinking, okay, United might make a comeback. They might do this. I actually thought that it would go to extra time, and I was saying that if it goes to penalties, then West Ham are going to win this. But so United had to win this in extra time at latest. But as you get to 90th minute, we get Alejandro Garnacho. I mean, a talent. He's so brilliant. I can't believe there are some people who are criticizing him a little while ago. He's a young player. You don't criticize young players. Yes, they will have ups and downs. They will have inconsistent games. They will have good games. Today, he was good today, and that goal is so good. But again, it comes from Casemiro. Casemiro wins that ball, and the moment he wins that ball, he quickly passes it along. He doesn't dwell on it, which is what I think, something that I think the others can learn, is that he doesn't dwell on it. He quickly passes it. It goes out to Bruno. The cross from Bruno is not that great. Again, makes a mess of it. He absolutely makes a mess of it by hitting it straight to Weghorst, and not for the first time. And Weghorst, of course, shoots it. He deflects off to Garnacho. Garnacho with a super finish. It's a brilliant finish. It's a very tough finish. We saw Antony do that quite a bit. It's one of those where if you get it wrong, you can get it wrong horribly, and you look like a prick when you do that. But when you get it right, it looks so good. It looks so brilliant, and it was a brilliant shot right into the bottom corner. It's 2-1. And I think West Ham were deflated by that. I think West Ham were kind of like, they just thought, yeah, we've gone so much, and we're going to end up on the losing side. And it did look like that. The belief went out of them. And then the third goal, again, it's nothing. Bruno is just playing on the corner. He's trying to time waste, and the ball somehow reaches Aguerd. And I don't know what's happened to Aguerd, that I think he just switches off. I think he was probably dwelling on the fact that he's conceded 2 goals. Like, he's been responsible for 2 goals. And they had to consider, and he doesn't realize. And Weghorst just comes in, steals in. It falls to Fred, and Fred just smacks it home. Maybe the goalkeeper could have done a little bit better, but I think it was onside. It's difficult to tell because I was right at the end of the game. I think the game was already over anyway. But it's a good finish from Fred. Fred has this habit, doesn't he? He just pops up with a goal here and there, and then keeps himself in the starting 11. Is what I feel. But yeah, that's 3-1. It's a win. Was it a good performance? I don't think it was. But like I said over the weekend as well, at this point, I think we are beyond United putting in good performances. I doubt we will see a lot of great performances from United, because the squad is at its sort of seams in some ways, isn't it? You can see that in the way, I mean, the kind of players, the players are keeping on playing. He wants to rotate. He wants to rest certain players. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. He wants to rotate. He wants to rest, but he can't do that. He just doesn't have the ability to, because the players on the bench are not that good. And which brings me to Harry Maguire, because for me, I think this might be the last, unless United draw a sort of a championship team, or maybe Grimsby or Blackburn or one of those sort of teams. I don't think we will see Harry Maguire start any meaningful games this season. He might start rotation games, but I just don't think he will start any more meaningful games, because I don't think he has really shown that he can do it, that he can cut it for Ten Hag. He can't. I mean, he's been given a lot of chances. He didn't have a bad game today. I'll be honest, I don't think he had a bad game. But the problem is, he's such a basic player, he's such a basic defender, that the impact that he has, even when he doesn't have a bad game, the impact that he has on everybody around him is the issue. And I think today was an example of that, where as soon as Martinez comes on, you see the difference. You just see the difference. And it's not Lindelof's fault, because you've seen Lindelof and Martinez play together, and they've been good. When they played against Leicester, they were very good. So you've got to say it's Maguire. There's something, he's just not cut out for it. He's just not cut out for this level. And he's just not cut out for it. And that's where that is. Michael Antonio, I'm going to make a mention of Michael Antonio as well. He had 2 good chances to score. One at 0-0, 1-on-1 with De Gea, which was again conceded by Maguire, by the way, and he missed it. Not missed it. De Gea saved it when he should have scored. And then there was another chance when it was 1-0, and he again took the wrong decision, and De Gea again saved it. So he had a couple of chances, and he should have made more of it, but he didn't. And I think those West Ham will look back and say, right, if we had it, that's the problem. Those 2 misses are a big reason why Manchester United are going through and not West Ham. That's those things matter in the end. They don't matter much when you're winning, but they did matter. They do count towards the end, and that's the problem. It's always going to be a problem for West Ham, because they're not scoring a lot of goals. Antonio is key to how they play. And when he's struggling, that's just one of the reasons why West Ham are in the relegation zone at the moment, because they just don't have that cutting edge. They lack that cutting edge up front, and that's the problem. I mean, other than that, again, like I said, and the final issue really is squad depth, isn't it? The fact is United would have probably not wanted to bring on Casemiro. I think was going to come on anyway because I think they wanted to give him some time. He hasn't played a lot because of suspension, but I think I'm sure Ten Hag would have wanted to give more rest time for Rashford and Martinez. I think he wouldn't have wanted to bring them on in the 57th minute. I think he might have thought, okay, I can bring them on maybe in the 70th, 75th minute, maybe. And I think he had to bring them on because he needed a win, and he had to bring them on a bit earlier than he wanted to. Probably would have wanted to give some time to Pelistri as well if they could have, but they couldn't because again they were chasing a game. So those are the issues in the squad, and that's why I say Manchester United. For anybody who thinks they're going to challenge for the title, they can't because physically they just don't have a squad that can compete on 3 fronts. So one of those is going to suffer, and I do believe that the Cups, the way that they are, I don't think he's going to sacrifice them. So it's the league form which is going to suffer because players will get tired for that, and there might be injuries as well. So anyway, that's just my opinion, of course. Big game against Liverpool this weekend. This win is important because normally so happens you come off after a big game with a big win, and then you come into a game like this, and sometimes you can take it lightly, you can take it complacently, and you lose that game, and then you lose momentum going into the next big game, which is of course this weekend. So it was important for them to get the win, and now of course they've got to go to Anfield. It's going to be a very tough game. I don't know if they can. I don't know what's going to happen in that game because Liverpool could blow hot and cold. They got the win today. Obviously, and I'll talk about that later, but they were not that good against Palace, but it's Manchester United. They always seem to be up for it against Manchester United, no matter how badly they play. So we'll see what happens there. Anyway, smash a like if you enjoyed this video. Smash a like for Manchester United winning the game and moving on to the next round of the FA Cup. We'll see who they play, of course, in a little while. We'll know the draw. Do remember to subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Share your comments, of course, on the game. Subscribe to on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Appreciate your support. We're gonna do a couple more quick reaction videos as well for the other games that have happened because we've got a few games that happened today. So do stay tuned for that as well. And if you subscribe, you get notified, of course, when those drop. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.